what is up, everybody? We are back for another week of Featured, and this week we have our very own Valory Zortman. So she is our creative and marketing person here at the church, and we're excited to hear. She's also our native local vegan. So
infamous
vegan. That is a way to put it for sure. And she never catches flack on it. But she's actually going to talk to us a little bit today about what it's like to be vegan, why she chose to do that, and those kind of things. And she brought her own snacks because I didn't know what to get for her when it came to being vegan. I said, bring chips and salsa, and we're close to that.
Yeah,
So.
I didn't bring the salsa, but I did bring, I think everything is also gluten-free. So
Okay, so what's the difference in gluten-free and vegan?
So vegan is when you don't eat any animal products, so no meat and no eggs or dairy. And then gluten-free is the grain, so there is no wheat products or wheat gluten products. So that's the difference.
Okay, cool. So I'm really excited to find out that apple juice is vegan and good for you. Like, I knew it was good for you because it's juice, but I love apple juice almost as much as chocolate milk.
Which is not vegan.
Which is not vegan. But that's okay. So we've got nacho vibes. So these are like Cheetos.
Yeah, those are like the Cheetos.
Okay. And these are Bold Bites by Samosa. They're small chips, huge flavor.
Yeah. I've not tried these, so I don't know.
Tried these?
No, so I don't know any of these. I haven't tried any of these actually, so we'll see if they are good.
Okay, so
I'm sure they will be.
she brought items that she has not even tried yet. So this could be interesting, but I'm sure they'll be good because you can't really mess up chips. But so these are, let's say what flavor they are. It's just that flavor. So flavorful, crunchy, and bold. Our Samosa Bold Bites bring the savory goodness of turmeric and spice straight to your taste buds. Perfect with veggie dip or enjoying straight out the bag.
Yeah, so.
And it matches my shirt.
Oh, it does. Yeah, very colorful. And then the last thing I brought was dried jackfruit, which I've had fresh jackfruit, but
she said she didn't like it.
Yeah, it was weird. There was I'm a texture person, so it was like banana Laffy Taffy kind of. And just really chewy and strange. I don't know.
Banana Laffy Taffy isn't terrible, but it's definitely not a choice. So, just gonna say. All right, cool. Well, we can open them, dump them in the bowls, and we'll go from there. I'll grab the bucket of questions. Do you want? Pastor Vince said it was bucket O question. Or I've been saying bucket of questions, but you want bucket O? Okay, so it's the bucket O questions again. Ooh, those look pretty good, actually. I'm good with that.
Oh, they smell
spicy. They do. You can definitely smell the spices, the smokiness to it. So, good. I'm going to go ahead and open my apple juice, so I'm just ready to wash anything down in case. So.
They're not going to be bad.
I'm not necessarily worried about the chips. It's
this one, the jackfruit.
The thing you said you didn't even like.
Might be not good.
So, but it's okay.
Dried mango is my favorite. I almost got the dried
mango. You know what Beckham really likes? What? Papaya.
Oh, really?
He does. He loves papaya. He likes all fruit, but he really likes papaya. That one's going to be difficult. There it goes. Okay, I'm going to try one of these. So. Yeah. They're harder than Cheetos. Oh, man.
This is not actually... It looks great. It really does. Look at that. Look at that color.
Looks like pig ears.
Is this good? Let me try this
Yeah,
first.
there's
Let's
not much
cleanse
flavor.
The palate with some fake nacho.
They're okay. They're very crunchy.
Oh, wow.
But they're good.
I like it.
They kind of look like, there's something of a cartoon I'm trying to think of.
Get your own piece.
It's a fruit.
Yeah.
But it smells like very...
It smells like fruit by the foot.
Yeah. That.
Sure.
Okay. Let's ask a question first.
Okay.
Before we get to the jackfruit. I'm going to ask one. Now, some of these are fun. Some of them are serious. We'll get into some serious topics also that I just pull out of the air. But for now, are you nervous?
Yeah.
Because you're not used to being in front of the camera.
No, I like being behind the camera.
Okay. So, first question. Perfect. There's no right or wrong answer.
Okay.
But if you could be anywhere in the world right now, where would you be?
The beach.
Yes.
I love the beach, and specifically, I would be at Hermosa Beach. That's in California. It's right by the town where I was born, and it's just
Where
so
were you
beautiful.
born?
Torrance.
Torrance.
Yeah,
California.
Torrance, California. And yeah, Hermosa Beach actually Hermosa, I think, means beautiful beach, and that's what it is. It's beautiful.
Sweet. Okay, so you were born in California. When did you end up in Arkansas?
I ended up I moved out of California when I was 2, so I don't really remember it from like my childhood, but
Okay.
I have visited like a ton because my family was still there. And then we moved from California to New Jersey, and I lived there until I
Coast
was
to
9.
coast.
Yeah, coast to coast, and then into the heartland when I was 9. So my dad's job took our family to New Jersey, and then he commuted into the city until 9/11 happened, and then he lost his job after that, and then we needed to do something. So that's how we ended up.
Here.
We moved here.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
So total change of the world.
Yeah.
Like daily habits totally changed.
Culture shock.
Something- Yeah. Culture shock. Okay. Cool. So California, beach, New Jersey, big city.
Kind
Kinda?
of. We were
You
actually in a
commuted east sides.
historic district,
Okay.
so we were by a church called Old First Church.
Cool.
So I don't know how old and like how first it was, but it must have been one of the first
Right.
ones. George Washington, I guess, had marched through that part of the town, so it was kind of like quaint.
Okay.
It wasn't
cool.
actually a big city.
That's dope. Okay. And then ended up right here, small town, rural USA.
Yes.
So you've got culture perspectives for days. Possibly.
Possibly.
I'm going to answer two. So if you ask me one and then I answer it, then you can answer back, but I'll answer you. I would be the beach, warm, sunny, just enjoying, or pick a golf course, and I'd love to be there too. But, because, I mean, outside is so fun. As long as the sun's not burning my eyes out, and kind of like we talked about yesterday, walking outside, you're like, oh, it feels so good. Like, I can't see anything because we've been inside all day.
So would you rather be outside than inside if like you could choose?
It depends. But yes, I would probably rather be outside, but it also depends on what we're doing.
Yeah.
So, and I sweat really easy. Like, and I hate, it's so weird. I sweat really easy, but I hate sweating.
Oh yeah.
And so like, I'd rather be nice and chilled. But so, okay, so we've ate those. Mm-hmm. The other chips, the samosas,
The big bite.
not to be confused with Girl
Bold
Scout
bites, bold
cookie
bites.
Samoas.
I know. That's what I thought it was. I was like, oh, it's going to be like a sweet cookie. And then it wasn't. It was a chip.
It's
So
still
opposite.
spicy.
But it's fine.
Okay, well, I'm going to try one. You can too. Again, we're trying vegan things, even though she's vegan. I could do those. I like those.
Really?
Yeah.
They're very, like, I can taste the turmeric.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I see it being really good with like a vegetable dip of some sort. Yeah.
I like those. So
I don't think I could eat them plain. They're so like, they are spicy, not in like that spicy way.
the smoky.
Uh-huh.
Like, I like that. Like, I like that flavor. So I
I need
could
some applesauce.
I could eat that just like straight from the bag. So I'm good with that. The jackfruit, I'm still nervous about because I was not expecting this to be what it looked like coming out of the bag. So hold on, where is the bag? I'm dumping those on.
Yeah,
the-
just dump it. It's fine.
Like that's very yellow because I'm guessing that's raw.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. And maybe that's why I thought it reminded me of Laffy Taffy, but this is orange. This is close.
Ethically sourced, naturally delicious. So how is this prepared? What we're eating?
There is no other ingredient besides the jackfruit, so they didn't even.
It's organic dried, so that's what they've done. They've dried it. That's why it looks like jerky, kind of.
Yeah, but I don't think there's no salt. I don't think in it like jerky would normally be.
Correct.
So it's all natural.
There's 1 milligram of sodium.
So small amount, I think.
Like nothing. So basically, like not enough to even list it. So okay, it's packaged in a facility which packages tree nuts. It's a product of Uganda or Sri Lanka. Interesting.
So some stuff that is vegan, you have to look at the ingredients. It's not marked vegan because it could be processed in a facility that also processes stuff that has milk and eggs in it. And so they have to say that on the bag. But there's a lot of like Oreos are vegan. So we can eat,
Yes.
we could have eaten Oreos.
So we ate them all last week.
Yeah, so
We didn't. We said we'd finish a row, Pastor Vince and I, but we didn't. But we finished them throughout the day, the week, whatever. We shared, but it's okay. Okay. You want to ask me a question?
yeah, so it's my turn.
Okay, cool. Watch, I'm going to get the deep one.
What magazines do you subscribe to?
Oh, this is good. Okay, so I subscribe to GQ. So some fashion, culture stuff there. Sports Illustrated, Golf Digest, and I've just started recently getting, it's not a magazine, it's a catalog from American Trucks. So I can buy stuff for my truck.
So you actually receive magazines in the
Yes.
mail, like the old-fashioned,
Yes.
not digital
4 of
magazine. Wow, okay.
Yeah.
I don't receive any magazines.
None?
No.
Okay, do you look at any online then?
Yeah, well,
Digital publications?
I don't know. I tend to, Google Pixels, they have like the little news and it knows what you like.
Pause.
So-
She's a creative that uses a Google Pixel, does not use iPhone. And so, okay, continue.
And it works good. I like it. But when you swipe over, you can see all like the news articles and it remembers what you like. I'm sure Apple probably does the same thing. But so I tend to read anything about like historic archaeology, like Viking stuff. So I like reading about that. I don't have any like specific magazine, but just like topics like that. I love that kind of stuff. I love like organic skincare kind of stuff. So I always read what the latest is, good for your skin. And yeah,
Viking history.
I love history, and right now I'm on a Viking kick, but it could change. I was kind of on a World War II kick a couple weeks ago.
You and Kirby both.
Really?
Kirby's into like watching the History Channel and stuff right now with fighter planes and different stuff.
That's so interesting.
He may have finished it by now, but yeah, he's been on that also. So maybe you guys can talk about that stuff.
Have you heard of Myers-Briggs personality, the MBTI?
Yes.
So Kirby and I are the same personality type.
Didn't know that.
So maybe it's something to do with that.
I wonder how many other people are watching World War II stuff right now with you guys.
I don't know. If you're an INFJ, comment. Let us know. That's what I am.
Or if you need to go take your personality test, we can help you out with that as well. Because you're big into those things.
I love them.
So,
yeah. I mean, they're not perfect, but I do think they help communication. When you're trying to get to know someone or talk to someone firsthand, like when you don't really know them before, then you kind of like, oh, okay, well, this person's an extrovert, so I can trust that they're going to keep the conversation going. Right. Or, I don't know, just certain things that, so you like them.
I like them. I'll go with it. But.
Yeah, so I do like personality quizzes.
Okay, cool. So let's ask one more before I just ask you kind of an out-of-the-air question.
Okay.
Or this may match up with an out-of-the-air one. I don't know. This one's perfect, too.
Oh, good.
If you were an animal, which one would you be?
I would be a fox.
Okay, I can see that.
I think they're beautiful. Then they're all of the myth and folklore about them is so cool. They have to be like sly and stuff and smart. And just in real life, I just think that they're such like a beautiful orange color. And it's kind of interesting that they're in Arkansas.
Right.
And they are hard to see, kind of, even though that they're
you
so
don't
vivid.
See very many of them.
No,
really.
so I like that. And
it's exciting when you do see one.
Yeah. So I like that about foxes.
It's not like you see a squirrel like all the time.
Oh my gosh, wait. Okay, in my neighborhood, there is a albino. Well, it's not albino, but it's a white squirrel.
So it's white because it doesn't have red eyes?
It doesn't have red eyes, so it's actually called a white morph. But you can check out my Instagram. It has
Instagram plug.
I have a highlight of when I get to see like the elusive great white squirrel. It's so cool. So if I wasn't a fox,
how often do you see it?
Oh well, it's obvious. You can see it. It's bright white.
But how often?
Oh, how often? Well, I saw it probably twice this week. Like in the last 7 days, I've seen it
How
twice.
many foxes have you seen in the last year?
1.
Exactly.
But we do feed. We feed animals off of our back deck because we live out by the lake. And so we did see a fox and it was so skinny. And we usually throw bread out for the deer, which I don't know if that's healthy. But and so we were feeding the fox bread inadvertently and it loves it.
Huh, that's fun.
Yeah.
But
so
he doesn't come around
up.
as much.
No.
Still.
Yeah, he didn't
Even
like the bread maybe.
Interesting. Cool. I would be, if I could be any animal, I'm sure everyone would be like, be a giraffe because it just fits. But I think I would.
I was told that when I was young.
I think I would be either a dolphin or an orca.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I love dolphins and I love orcas. I love dolphins. They're like the superhero of the ocean. So like they fight sharks and different things. And so I think I've always thought they were super cool. And then they do all kinds of cool tricks and stuff too. And the way they communicate with echolocation, they're just a super cool creature. They live in pods, so they have friends and family all together. And then orcas are the same. They live in pods. They're just massive, and I loved Free Willy growing up. Great movie. And so I think orcas are super cool, and not killer whales, orcas. Treat them with respect.
So I have to tell you something cool about orcas. Cool. So, you know, they make like morning kind of like sound, like songful sounds. So I was at a record store was I in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and I found this record that was all orcas like sounds. It was nothing else.
So it's funny you say that, because until I was probably 8, maybe even closer to 10, I fell asleep every night listening to a dolphin track CD of dolphin sounds, like put to music and stuff. So it's not as weird or crazy as you might think. It's really, really cool.
You should be vegan. It sounds like you love animals.
I do love animals, but I like to eat them as well.
That's sad.
No, it's not.
It's kind of sad. Yeah.
It's so good and bloody and tasty. I'll stop now. I'll stop. Sorry. So, do you want to try the jackfruit or wait till later? Like, let that be the end cap.
Oh, okay. Well, let's wait till later. But I am really curious about what that is going to taste like.
I'm not. But that's
it's going to be good, I think.
I'll do it for you. So here at the church, you design a lot of stuff. You are the one that has the brains behind when to put out promotions, how to do that, where to go about it, whether it's radio ads or Facebook promotions, billboards, whatever. TV commercials, even though we have a ton of those in Mountain Home. You're the brains behind that. So like, what started for you to decide like, okay, like marketing's cool, and just maybe even the design to start into that? Where did that start? Did that look like through you going through high school or college, and now you're like, this is what I want to do? Yeah.
So when we moved to Arkansas, my parents bought a resort. It's Mockingbird on Norfolk, and that was just our family running it. There is no really hired help. It was just us. And so we had to do the marketing. And so growing up, I got to see my mom do all of this fun, creative stuff. And so we ended up becoming the marketing department between the two of us. And so when I was in high school, I thought that I wanted to be a graphic designer, and I interned at Vision Amp. And I realized that I didn't want to sit behind a computer all day, which is what I kind of do still. But I wanted to interact with people more. Even though I am introverted, I do love being around people. And I thought that graphic designers didn't get to interact. They just, got the word of things to create. And so I ended up going after that internship, I went to college, and I went to school for business management, and I had an emphasis in marketing. And I've always just loved marketing. I've loved how creative you have to be when you are trying to like communicate a message, and you can do it in a bunch of different ways that aren't like really visible. It's not just the design. There's so much more like that goes into the font, kind of like a sub current of like, what are you trying to say? And I love
telling the message behind the message.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I love that kind of stuff. I think that's so interesting. And I've always loved like trying to fix, like being a solution to problems. And so marketing is just a way to do that. So after I went to college and I've got to do fun, creative stuff, that was how it kind of fell into that kind of career path.
Cool. So then how did you end up with being on the team here at Real Life?
So when I was going through college, I ended up starting to work full-time at the college. And so I was doing full-time work and full-time school, and it was a lot. And I ended up getting kind of sick. Like my body, I caught mono, and I never recovered from it. Most people catch mono, mm-hmm. and it's like a month-long illness or something, but I just never got better. And I think it was probably like a stress thing, or I just wasn't strong enough, I guess. I wanted to be. I was mentally pushing and trying to get there. And I think that made it worse too. And so I struggled with it a lot, but I was feeling God calling me to just quit my job. And I had finished school, so I was done with that. I got my bachelor's, and so that was like a relief, but it didn't bring relief to my body. Like I was still getting worse. And so I made the leap of quitting my job. But at the time, it felt so I felt so bad. I was like, oh, I'm supposed to be like a college grad. I'm supposed to be being really productive.
This is what America says to do.
Yeah. So. And here I was like saying, okay, I'm going to be unemployed living at home with my parents. And so it was hard. I think it was a prideful mental, like I just couldn't get like that decision finally. I did finally make it, but that was a hard hurdle for me. But I did feel God calling me to just be faithful. Like if he wanted me to be sick, then I was going to be sick. And if this is the path that he wanted me to be on, then I was going to do it. And I was going to trust that he had something in store for me. And so I made the decision that I was going to quit my job. And then that is when my friend let me know that there was a opening at this church down the street. And so on my lunch break at the college, I went and I had an interview here. And then I told him, I was like, hey, I know you're looking, the job was for a graphic designer. And I was like, hey, I know you're looking for a graphic designer, and I'm not a graphic designer, but I do graphic design and I do marketing. I'm not the best graphic designer, but I do like have social media content. Like I've look at my resume, like I've done all this stuff that I think I can help you. And so it wasn't what they were looking for. And so I didn't know if I was going to get it, but they were like, okay, yeah, like we'll give you a 30-day, we'll see if you can do it. And so 30 days
So you got
passed.
like a trial run.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was 60 days. And they were going to give me more than just 30 days to like prove myself. But they 60 days passed and nobody talked to me. And I was kind of joking to Kirby. I was like, oh, so I guess I'm not going to get fired. Like, you're going to keep me around. And so, yeah. So I've been here for 2 years.
So I really liked what you said. You were talking about the time when you were going through being sick. And you said that if God wants me to be sick in this time, then I guess that I'll just be sick. So you're walking through this process. And I think it's so important for us to realize that sometimes God's not going to make things super easy for us. And most of the time he's not. Mm-hmm. And so in that, one of the things that clicks in my head when he says, when you read in Psalms, he says, he makes me lie down in green pastures. He restores my soul. So if we don't take proper time to rest, or if we're running in the wrong direction, or we're just continually running, there's going to become a point in time where God's like, no, you are going to lie down and you are going to rest. And it's not going to look like what it probably looked like if you made the decision to. So, I mean, I think sometimes he does have to like put a little bug in our throat or something to make us lay down, rest, recover, and then just spend some extra time of recuperating our body. Because like as Americans, we just go. And it's like you said, like you felt like that's what I was supposed to be doing. It's what everybody else is doing. And God's like, no, I've got something better in store for you. But right now, you need to just slow down. And I think that's huge. And what we don't do too often is that.
Yeah, I was just going to say, yeah, like it was really hard for me to take that rest. Like everyone, all the world tells you to hustle. Mm-hmm. And it was hard for me to hear, God saying to stop. I don't want you to do this anymore. And I was like, but this is what I've gone to school for. Like I've been doing this. Like, isn't this not the plan? And I was actually kind of struggling with my faith before that time. And so that I'm really grateful now that I went through what was probably one of the hardest, like 4 years I was sick, multiple different things. I've been to tons of doctors, and I'm so grateful for it now. Even though it was hard and it was just not a fun time, it brought me so close to God, and I was kind of like maybe lost or wayward, and I had to give my trust to him, and he called me to that, and I was like, okay, like if this is it, then I'm going to do it. And so it really, looking back now, my faith would not have been strong if that hadn't have happened to me. So it was really a blessing, and I wouldn't take it back.
I love that. See, like you said, you just feel like you had to do the hustle. And I think a lot of times we confuse the hustle with the bustle. Like we need to hustle and we need to go and we need to be on top of things. Yeah. But the bustle is what drags us down, just feeling like we have to be doing something all the time. And that's something I struggle with too at the same time. But there's a difference in hustling and trying to get, whether it's within church of trying to get the word of God out, and the bustle of just, these are things on the checklist and I'm just going to make sure I have stuff to do. And I think that's something that we go back and forth on. You said you were sick for 4 years, but obviously you're feeling better now. All this have something to do with it as well? Yeah,
I would definitely say that this, not exactly this kind of food, but definitely vegan, and I cut out the things that I thought that were making me feel bad. And it was a slow process of, trial and error. But yeah, being vegan, made me feel better. I felt pretty much an immediate difference within that first week or maybe 2 weeks of going vegan. I had a day where I felt normal, and I cleaned my room and moved my furniture around, and I was energetic and I wasn't tired, and I don't know, it was just like okay, then I must be on the right track. So I think that was a really small, like, tender mercy that God gave me, was like, yes, here,
Sweet.
this is how you can be.
And I think that's big too. Like, you don't have to go vegan. Like, but if you're not feeling well, you have to take care of yourself. And I mean, God calls us to take care of our bodies. It's a temple. It's to glorify Him in the way we take care of our bodies. And so that could be different for everybody. I mean, we talked before this in this crazy what'd you say it was, the thing that you did before?
The announcer's test.
The announcer's test.
Yeah.
Do you want to do it?
Yeah.
Okay, do
I
it.
can.
Do it, please.
Do you want to try?
No, I don't want to try.
Okay. All right.
Maybe later, but okay. So this was mic check.
This was a mic check, yeah. Okay. So it's 1 hen, 2 ducks, 3 squawking geese, 4 limerick oysters, 5 corpulent porpoises, 6 pairs of Don Alviso's tweezers, 7,000 Macedonians armed in full battle array, 8 brass monkeys from the ancient sacred crypts of Egypt, 9 apathetic, sympathetic, diabetic, old man on roller skates with a marked pinpiquity toward lethargy and sloth, and 10 lyrical, spherical, diabolical denizens of the deep who hold skull around the corner of the quay, the quo, and the quivy, and like to do it all at the same time.
It's crazy. So cool. So you say you learned that about 14, but we actually had a conversation in there a little bit when you were talking about the old sympathetic, apathetic, diabetic men.
Yeah.
And that are on roller skates.
Yeah.
And at the end, you said they have, what's it called? Toward pin...
A marked pinpiquity toward lethargy and sloth.
Yes, a marked pinpiquity towards lethargy and sloth. And not talking about sloth the animal, but being lethargic and lazy in how you operate. And so the Bible talks about that being a sin. And that's a way that we don't take care of our bodies. I mean, we sit there and binge Netflix on our day off or whatever, rather than just even walking the street or just something that takes 10 minutes. Like, it's so important to take care of our bodies and just to be able to continue going through life because of how you take care of your body. Like, some people struggle with depression and anxiety and things just because of the stuff they eat or the way they go about their life. And if you just little tweaks make a big difference in it. Now, you made a big tweak. Like, you totally changed your diet, but you saw results from that at the same time.
And there are small tweaks that even I have to catch myself and remind myself that I need to do, because it's so easy, especially working in digital media, that I'm always constantly feeding and filling my brain with things, scrolling through, and it's just, I'm always on trying to soak up information, and it's too much. And so sometimes just hitting the reset button and taking a Sabbath, and I mean, I tried to take Saturday away from my phone completely because it's a temptation. It's so easy to just pick it up and feed my brain more information. And then you're losing so much of what you could be hearing. So, from God, really, I just think that digital stuff is an easy way to fall underneath that kind of I don't know, carpet of not listening, not hearing. And so I do like to just hit reset, go for a walk, listen to the birds, and just try to get some sunshine and be away from all of the noise that kind of blocks out things that I should be listening to instead. Sweet.
No, I think all that's really good. Let's ask just a couple more unique questions to find out personality kinds of things.
Okay.
And then we'll wind down from here. Let's see here. Ooh, how do you think I rate as an interviewer?
A 10, I guess.
Sweet. I'm perfect.
Do I have to ever do this again?
ESPN, come at me. So I'll take that. Okay. This may not change what you're doing, but if money were no object and you were guaranteed to be successful, what job would you do as a career?
Ooh, well, it wouldn't change. I still love marketing stuff. I think that it would be so fun because I have in my brain all these business ideas that it would be so fun to launch. And so I think it would be fun to launch all these businesses and maybe revitalize the square or a square somewhere that needs help, and do small fun and just market everything. And then I don't want to run it. I want to give it to somebody else. Be like, yeah, you can take that from here.
You're going to lead it. Started this. Now here's my team that I've sculpted.
This is the vision. No, here it is.
Cool. Go. I've answered this one already on here, and I would probably design shoes. In some way, some facet would be one of the things, but I love what I do. I love being around people. I love communicating. I love doing this, but I love being creative at the same time. And I think being creative is a huge part of who we are as God's creation as well. Last one, then we'll try the jackfruit.
Okay.
So let's see what we've got. What's the best movie you've seen in the last year?
I love going to the movie, like the movie theaters.
Me too.
We haven't gotten to that in months, but I have been watching some Netflix stuff. You know what? It's gonna sound so silly, but I love like Jane Austen style old
movies.
historical kind of like where you can see like the costume
you like reading
design.
Jane Austen too.
I do. I love reading, and I love Jane Austen. So I rewatched Pride and Prejudice with Keira Knightley.
Okay.
I love that movie. I think it's so cool, and so like their banter back and forth, all the verbs and stuff. It's really fun. So I watched that the other like a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Again for like the 8th time.
I really like to watch movies, but this is the dynamic in our household is I really like to, and Kaylee doesn't. So Kaylee thinks movies are a waste of time because you just sat there for 2 hours and then consumed, and she likes to be outside and going and different things like that. And then with Beck now, interacting with him, making sure paying attention to him has been a priority as well. We have watched a few more movies since basically that's the only option we've had for entertainment at some time. The most recent one I've watched was we rewatched Batman vs. Superman. Of course, that one's a good one. And then we also watched Frozen 2. But my favorite, I think, that we've watched, or that I have watched recently, because the year is young, I haven't seen anything new. Actually, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to totally change the narrative. Not a movie, but my favorite thing I have watched over the last 5 months, almost 6 now with the year. Wow, the year's halfway done almost.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Can't believe it.
Thanks, Corona. Would have to be The Last Dance in the Michael Jordan documentary.
Oh, really?
Yeah, loved it because I just love sports, and it was the only thing on. And Michael Jordan's the greatest of all time. No, whether you like it or not, but it was so cool to watch his career, the way they did it with the flashbacks and going back and forth on the timeline and the storytelling of telling the story of his final season with the Bulls, but still telling about all his teammates, talking about his personal life of trying baseball when his dad was murdered and going through college and growing up. Like, it was cool how they just went back and forth, and I thought it was filmed and produced in a really neat way that instead of just following the cameras for 98, it told the whole story. So I thought that was fun.
Yeah, I love documentaries that kind of do that too.
Not a movie, but if you put it all together, it'd be a really long movie. So I'm going to take the liberty as the interviewer to go that direction. But we're done. Well, that's all the questions we'll ask. We'll try the jackfruit, and we'll basically sign off based on reactions. So let's see what we have.
There you go.
Do we have to?
Do you have a big enough piece here? Do you need?
No, this is big enough.
Okay.
I'll flip it over so it's wider too. Does it have to be finished, or can it be spit out?
No, you have to finish it.
The whole piece, or just the
It's
bite?
good for you.
The whole piece or the bite?
The whole piece.
Okay.
Are you not?
So it's like sushi? You have to eat it all as one?
Yeah.
Okay. It's chewy.
Yeah, that is pretty chewy.
You know what? It's really not that bad. Actually, no. Now it's kind of changing.
It's not bad. I like it. It's better
I don't know
than
if I like
fresh.
It's better than the fresh.
Yeah. Oh wow, that's pretty chewy.
It's like
Don't eat this if you have braces.
It's like a vegan wannabe fruit roll-up.
Yeah, it's fine. I see. I'm going for another piece.
So I would maybe eat if it was on your desk and you eat one piece, but that'd be.
This is sushi.
Oh, but on that, it is fun when you bring stuff in because like one day you brought a key lime pie in that was vegan.
Yeah, I made that.
And that was good. So I'll at least try stuff. I'm not going to run away from it. But in that, hey, thank you guys for watching another week. We hope you enjoyed Miss Val. Give her a follow, watch all the fun stuff. Maybe you'll see the white squirrel or a fox. And so you can follow her adventures as well. We hope to see you guys here this weekend as we have services at 9:30 and 11 locally at our Mountain Home location. Because we are live for services again. We're so excited to rub shoulders with you. Actually, probably won't rub shoulders, social distancing, whatnot. But if you want to high five me, I'm good with that. So we love you guys. We will see you on Sunday.